I'm Heather from Hale Booktubes, and today's April anticipated releases. So one or two of these might be out by the time that you see this, but these are the ones that I know of that I actively am like, I want to read that. I don't do this every month. It kind of depends on what I have at the beginning of the month because so many of the indie romances that I love get announced just a couple of days before they're released. And so a lot of times there are ones from my favorite authors that are coming out, but I don't know about them when I make my video. And sometimes I try to go ahead and ask them, but you know, like you can't expect to be announcing their upcoming release and things. So almost always there's a lot more than what I have that I end up wanting to read as soon as it comes out. And I wouldn't say I do the best job in the world at this, but I do tend to try and share those in my Instagram stories. So, you know. I have to say this is one that I'm very excited about. And that is Badly Behaved by Meagan Brandy. This is on the 7th. This is a standalone, and she is a socialite, and she is basically happily waiting for her arranged marriage to some other rich guy until she falls for a bad boy who I think is from the wrong side of the tracks and loves him in secret, and he's gonna destroy her. I don't know, but I do know that Meagan Brandy is just the perfect amount of drama when I just want to be sucked into a book, kind of regardless of how crazy it might be. I have loved every single one of the books that I've read by her, and I'm really very excited for this one. And then on April 9th, Maybe One More Time, which is Vegas Nights #3 by Christina Jones, is coming out. I had the worst reading month in March, which you may or may not have already seen, but two shining stars in that debacle were the first two books in this trilogy. So each book is following, I think they're triplets, definitely siblings, but I think they're triplets. And first one is A Marriage in Trouble. The second one is Friends to Lovers, in a way that I actually really liked, because Christina Jones actually doesn't like Friends to Lovers herself. She tends to find it unbelievable because if they were really so amazing, why weren't they already together? You know? And I'm like, thank you. So we actually have a very similar outlook on Friends to Lovers, but she wrote one and it was great. And then this one, first of all, I think Christina only writes Black love. I know that that's all I've read from her, but this one is an older woman, and then the hero is in a motorcycle club, and it's in Vegas, obviously. And in the second book, we got a real preview. I just want to read their romance so badly. Then on April 10th, this one is kind of an exception, but it is by an author that I already really like. Is the second book in Tribes. It's a sci-fi alien predator romance. This one is Stolen, and then the first one is called Marked. And from what I understand, it's aliens that are in tribes, kind of think Plains tribesmen like Khal Drogo, and they're mates. And at least in the first one, I think there's a crash landing, and there might also, in the second one maybe, there might be a competition and she's the prize for the victor. I don't know, but it's by Milana Jax. Did I ever say that? No, because I didn't even write it down. It's by Milana Jax, and I really like some of Milana Jax aliens. I loved both of her Alien Omegaverse series, so I want to read the first one, and I found out about the first one because I saw that the second one was coming out. Thank you, Kindle. Upcoming releases for you. So yeah, I don't know. It might be great. It's usually very smutty and wild and over the top, so we shall see. And then what do we have next? That was April 10th. Next, I need to go to April 13th. Broderick, which is the Bean Valley #2 by Katee Robert, is coming out. Now, I have not read Able. I have Able. I pre-ordered Able. I am not allowed to buy Broderick unless I read Able. So I've got to do that. So this series is about 7 brides for 7 brothers, but it's all polyamorous and hate to love and all of the things. And this one I know is 2 girls and a guy, and he hates one and loves the other, but the one that he hates, I think, messes with the one that he loves to spite him, so now he can't have her unless he has them both. I don't know, but I'm just like, all right, let's do this thing. But I'm not allowed to buy it unless I read the first one. You put that on top of TBR, except, you know, my life is in a shambles because my reading is slumped. So who knows if that will happen. And then at some point, I think it's the 7th or the 9th, I don't know. I keep seeing different things and I can't find a clear answer. Fearless Taylor's version is coming out, and you know I'll be listening to it constantly, so I just figured I would mention that because I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I loved All of Me, her new song from the vault, and I'm just really excited about it. Then on April 20th, Deathly by Brynne Asher. And the synopsis and the cover are coming out on the 7th, I think. So I don't really know what it's about, but it's the Dylan sisters duet. It's two very different sisters, two very different lives, two very different romances, and that's all I know. But the first one is by Brynne Asher, who I've really enjoyed at least one book by, and the second one, Damaged, comes out on April 27th, and that is by Layla Frost, who I love. And so that's why. And so I'm excited to read it because I do like both of these authors, and I'm hoping that I love it. On the 21st, Rush, a Rockstar Daddy Romance by Brianna Hale is coming out. And basically, I got the idea from the synopsis that she has already been a rock star or dated a rock star or been something in that world and wants no part of it. But she's really attracted to him, and she says he gives off big daddy energy, and she does not want any part of the world. She doesn't want any part of fame, and he's like, I'll protect you, and she has to learn to trust him when she's only trusted herself. I do not care about celebrity romances, and I think it's because I don't enjoy the idea of being one of a screaming crowd of fans. Like, I am not into celebrity crushes. I'm just not. I always find it annoying that people will like lose their mind over somebody that they don't even know the real them. They only know their public persona. It drives me a little bit crazy. So I'm not really into celebrity romances. I definitely have some that I have loved, but I am excited for this. A Rockstar Daddy. I mean, I kind of want to see it. On the 27th, which is when Damaged by Layla Frost comes out, but also is Flagrant by Alexandria House. This is the beginning of her NBA, the Pelicans, I'm probably lying, series. And I am so grateful to Shades and Pages on Instagram. She does lipstick and book reviews, but I would not know the date for when this was coming out without her, and I'm just so grateful because I've been looking forward to this book so much. So Polo is a teammate of Neil from, not Neil, was it Neil? No, that was a lie. Leland. From Leland from Let Me Hold You. The one with the basketball on the cover. I'm sure I'm right. Anyways, and he is like cheating on his girlfriend and like not doing great, and Leland is like giving him advice, and so I just can't wait to see Alexandria House make that man shape up, and I'm just ready. I'm so excited. She actually also has, I think it's on the 9th, a poem book coming out, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tempted to read, but also it's a poetry book, not a romance, so I just don't know. I'm very excited for this book. I can pretty much guarantee I'll be reading it on release day. And also on the 27th, I have Dial A for Aunties. I actually was looking at reviews, and it looks like a couple people that I know have gotten arcs of it and have read it, but I actually saw this today from Paperback and Lattes. April releases video, and she was reading the synopsis and I was laughing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to read that. So shout out to Paige. And this is a hilariously quirky novel that's equal parts murder mystery, rom-com, and a celebration of mothers and daughters, as well as a deep dive into Chinese Indonesian culture, and it's a debut. Now, I do think that this is going to focus less on the romance than I typically like, but it sounds really funny, and I do love murder mysteries. I used to read them all the time, especially as a kid, and I want to give this one a shot. Okay, so Dial A for Aunties is by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I think it's how you say her last name. When Madeline Chan ends up accidentally killing her blind date. Her meddlesome mother calls for her even more meddlesome aunties to help get rid of the body. Unfortunately, a dead body proves to be a lot more challenging to dispose of than one might think or anticipate, especially when it's accidentally shipped in a cake cooler to the over-the-top billionaire wedding Katee, her ma, and her aunties are working at an island resort on the California coastline. It's the biggest job yet for their family wedding business. And nothing, not even an unsavory corpse, will get in the way. But things go from inconvenient, this is the good part, right, to downright torturous when Meddy's great college love and biggest heartbreak makes a surprise appearance amid the wedding chaos. Is it possible to escape murder charges, charm her ex back in her life, and pull off a stunning wedding all in one weekend? I want it. I don't even care about wedding setups. You might have noticed that. I just don't reach for that. That and bakeries. I just don't freaking care. Nonetheless, this sounds really funny, and I want to read it. Then, there's also the Shadow and Bone adaptation that's coming to Netflix on the 23rd. I am so excited about this. I watched one episode of Bridgerton. Like, I wasn't super excited about it. I will probably finish it at some point, but I don't enjoy watching romance the way I like reading it. I often feel very awkward. But fantasy on the screen, I'm so excited about this. So excited. Along with everybody else. Doesn't matter. I'm very excited. And then also, I saw today when I was looking it up, it's actually already on Netflix, but I was watching a live show on Nana Reed's channel about manga. It was about The Way of the House Husband, and then one more. Sorry, I can't remember. But The Way of the House Husband, I'm really interested in. I just don't have access to it through my library. But it's an anime on Netflix that came out this month, and I want to watch it. I've never actually watched an anime. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to give it a try. I thought that was cool. And then lastly, Bree from 11 Words had this one on her April TBR. She has an arc, but it comes out the 29th. It's Twisted Love by Anna Huang. And it sounds like exactly my type of book. So let me just read you a little bit of the synopsis here. This is the line that sold Bree, and this is the line that sold me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He has a heart of ice, but for her, he'd burn the world. Listen, this is why villains do it better. I would infinitely rather have a morally not quite pristine man who will sacrifice anybody and anything for me than a really good guy that will sacrifice me for the greater good. No, no, I'm not excited about that. No, go kill people and save me. Don't sacrifice me. Are you crazy? That is not a great love story. Nonetheless, I'm excited about this. So he's a devil with the face of an angel. He's driven by a tragedy, and she has a past that she can't remember, and she's his best friend's sister. Which I'm honestly not super into that trope, but this, why the freak can't I learn to just scroll down? How do you scroll this down? Why is life so hard? Darn it. Son of a building block. Oh. Arrow button worked. It's okay. Okay, so he's forced to look after her, and his heart starts to melt. He's a free spirit, trapped in nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. Okay, so he's her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Their love was never supposed to happen and unleash secrets that could destroy them both. But then, Twisted love is a brother's best friend, opposites attract romance with a hint of suspense. Warning, this book contains a possessive anti-hero. Sold. That is all I need. Give that to me. That's what I need in my life. Explicit sexual content. I see nothing wrong here. Yep. I kind of want to read that. Like a lot. It does say emotional. Ugh. And if Bree says it's emotional, it'll probably be like devastating to me. But also I wouldn't know that if I read it when it came out. Unless I watched one of her wrap-ups since she read it at like the beginning of the month. We have holes in our story and plan. If it's not too emotional, she claims that her books are emotional though, so it probably is emotional. Oh no. Nonetheless, I'm excited about it. And then also Jessica Gadziala is going to have one, at least, right? Probably 2 books out in April. And I think that one of them is for a series that I'm actually caught up on. So I'm very excited about it, but I can't say anything more. But Jessica Gadziala literally has a book come out like every single month, as does I think Christina C. Jones, Be Love. Indies, they're the greatest. I love them. So anyways, what are you most excited for April? And are you excited for any of the media that was not books? Let me know. I'm excited. I have high hopes and expectations, and I'm gonna kick this reading slump, and it's all going to be roses, even though I'm not super into roses. Like the scent, one of my least favorite flowers. Hyacinths, lilacs, delightful. Not really on point, but nonetheless, everything will be turning up hyacinths from here on out. This reading slump is gonna die a painful and abrupt death. I can feel it. Maybe these will help. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.